for me ma obia a big salute at the bar and media TV. Sabre yam semran yebeboy and seven near kuti and chemu.
Isaba Torkonoo. She has been suspended by the president in circumstances that her legal team feels very hard done by. But the situation was getting quite worrying. This morning, she was expected to appear before the committee. First, the few things that happened that makes it unnerving. You know, the accounts have something to say that agrobeso ifyanopa. What that means is that the process and the procedure of a matter can be gleaned from the beginnings of it. The way a process begins can tell you where it is going. That's what agrobeso ifyanopa means. And they sent her a letter to appear before the committee. They wrote a whole letter. Intelligent people, they wrote a letter to her. The letter didn't have a venue. So she looked at it and said, and the lawyers are telling me, but there's no venue on the letter. I mean, that's how serious it is. That's how serious it is. She looked at the letter and found out that there's no venue. So she wrote back, and in writing back, they now produced a venue. Why will people who are running a big government send a letter to a suspended Chief Justice to appear for a constitutional committee hearing, and they don't say where she should appear? So that was the first red flag. They sent the letter. And then we must have the letters that CJ's lawyers wrote, so please hold. I'll come to that in a minute. Then they now showed her the venue. Let me show you the venue that they gave her now. Let me show you the venue. Where's the map? Can we look at the map right now? Please put the map up. Let me show viewers the venue before I come to the actors. Let me just do the map. All right. So let me start again then for the purpose of the lady. So this is Gertrude Torkonoo, the suspended Chief Justice, whose suspension is taken with a lot of pinch of salt from her supporters, the Ghana Bars, the TUC, etc., etc. Now, Justice Torkonoo was written to that she must appear to the committee. The committee has been set up by the president pursuant to the constitutional article for the removal of the Chief Justice. The committee has been set up. Okay. So they wrote to her that appear before the committee on this day. Today, I think it's 15th May. The letter they wrote to her did not have a venue. And so she wrote back and said, I need to know the venue of the event. And, my screen is going off. Let me, on this side, on the left-hand side here, there are national security installations, there are buildings that national security use. It's always been for national security because our presidents were at the castle. So to give a long range of protection, national security mounted these homes, they occupied it so that strangers don't occupy the home so close to the seat of government. So it is in these national security buildings that they ask her to come. Yes, put the so viewers, just look at the map. On the left-hand side, you can see some buildings. This is the road to the castle. On the left-hand side, you can see some buildings there. These are the buildings that they're asking her to come and have the meeting, have the inquiry, the interrogation, and all of that. And this is a judicial inquiry. The judiciary has so many places to sit. It sounds a bit intimidating when you ask her to come to the Osu Castle security installations. And she even has to get that upon writing to you that you haven't given me a venue. They write to her that, Madam Isaba, come for your hearing pursuant to the Constitution. You've been suspended by the president. The committee is ready to see you. Come for your hearing. And then she reads the letter back and forth, up and down. There's no venue on the letter. Come to the hearing where? In the president's office? In the judicial service? At the Chief Justice Court? Where? So she writes to them and says, oh, my lords, you have not given me a venue. They say, oh, you want venue? Come to the castle. You will see. Come. Hurry up. Come. Castle. National security installation. That's why they are holding the meetings. So this morning, she decides that the circumstances are dire. My lawyer should go and let us see. You know, on the first day, not much will happen. On the first day, they set a timetable up and they set things to be done, and you get to know who the petitioners are. You meet them. You get to know their lawyers and all of that. And then eventually they may set it up. Okay. But But on the first day, that's what happened. So she decided that she's not attending. And then when her lawyers went there with the document that she gave them, which is the invitation letter, and she can only give the invitation letter it was written to her, so she can give to the lawyers. And that happens in court all the time. People appear in court without the plaintiff, the applicants, whatever. It happens, and it's allowed because your lawyer represents you. But give me the photograph of the lawyers then. But when his lawyers went there, they said to them that they will not respond to, the long one. Don't you have the long one? They will not respond to, they will not recognize the lawyers because she was not present. They said they will not recognize the lawyers because she was not present. Do you have the long photograph of everybody else involved? If you can get that. If you can't get that, just tell me and then I go on with this one. So one of the lawyers she saw, okay, so this starts with President Mahama, whom we know. He is the one in charge of the petition. And so he is sending the petition to Council of State and sending it. So he's really running the show at the top. But the matter has left his hands now. He's now sent it to Council of State. A prima facie has been given. So it's left his hands. So he's waiting. Mr. Chikata is one of the lawyers representing Daniel Ofori. The same said Daniel Ofori, about whom it was alleged that she could have a problem with Gertrude Torkonoo because his pursuit of EcoBank in the courts, that EcoBank should pay him 97 million cedis. It is suspected that this pursuit is being thwarted by Gertrude Torkonoo because Gertrude Torkonoo has to put a panel up for the Court of Appeal hearing of what looks like the 14th leg of the Daniel Ofori conversation. Because the Daniel Ofori conversation started in 2008. And it has transferred up till now. Daniel Ofori sued a group of people. EcoBank, CalBank, Ghana Stock Exchange, Ghana Bank of Ghana. Daniel Ofori has removed all the people that he sued. He's now left with EcoBank and he's making a major claim against EcoBank. It is suspected and believed in gossip and rumor that Chief Justice Torkonoo, as she was, will not support this claim against EcoBank one way or the other. Mr. Chikata happens to be the lawyer for EcoBank. Daniel Ofori is a petitioner in the matter. Mr. Chikata is lawyer for Daniel Ofori in the process. Also, my dear friend Thaddeus, his birthday was recent, and I sent him a birthday message he acknowledged. Thaddeus, actually was the lawyer for Daniel Ofori at the beginning, until Mr. Chikata was added to it. Thaddeus is also there for Daniel Ofori. He's also the lawyer for Daniel Ofori to begin the interrogation of Torkonoo and look at this matter. Justice Scott Poaman is chairing. Adibu Asiedu is there as well. And then you have Sorry is also there. Then guess what? There was a group who petitioned against Justice Torkonoo. They were called the Shining Stars. Now the Shining Stars is represented by Oliver asking for more. Oliver is asking for more. Oliver Vomaho is the lawyer for the Shining Stars. It all becomes a bit concerning, doesn't it, about this and that? But it's okay. We'll see what happens because, as Justice Torkonoo said, the law is the law. The law is really the law. So that's the list of counsel who are prepared to interrogate Torkonoo. And this morning, counsel and the chairman refused to recognize Justice Torkonoo's lawyer's presence in the matter because they said Justice Torkonoo was not present in the castle room, the room on the way to the castle, the national security installation. Justice Torkonoo was not there, so they will not recognize Justice Torkonoo's lawyer. So nothing really happened today. We'll be giving you bullets by bullet analysis of everything that's happening in the Justice Torkonoo trial. I understand that there's an application for a publication, a live transmission of the trial. Hopefully, the authorities will agree with that and we can have a live transmission in spite of the constitutional provision that these things must be in camera. Because what are we doing? We are building a republic. There was no provision that courts should be on television. There was absolutely no provision. In America, in Ghana, when the O.J. Simpson case came in America, it was decided that they should put it out on television for people to see. Even the hearings at Congress, it was never part of television. But at some point, it was decided, I think beginning with Clarence Thomas, Justice Clarence Thomas, by George Bush, there was pressure on the American system that in deepening democracy, put the Congress hearings out on television. Everybody saw it. Even we in Ghana saw it when Justice Clarence Thomas appeared before the committee. He had been accused of sexual harassment by a law professor called Anita Hill. And that was a big matter before the Congress. Anita Hill came to the Congress during the vetting. And she was allowed to cross-examine, as it were, Justice Clarence Thomas. So that's how it started in America. This must be long ago, 1993 or something like that. So there's no provision to say that we should show Supreme Court. But Justice Georgina Wood in Ghana in 2013 decided that the Electoral Commission, the electoral election petition by Jacob Echebelamte, Mahamadou Bawumia, and Akufo-Addo had such significant public interest, and therefore it should be on television. Since then, we have had many trials on television, and has it aided our democracy? I think the answer is yes. And so those who believe that these public hearings on television will aid our democracy should add their voices to the fact that let us watch Justice Torkonoo's trial, the committee trial. Let us watch it. Let us see her demeanor. Let us see the demeanor of her accusers. Let us see what the arguments the lawyers are making. Let us see what questions she is being asked. It is true that the constitutional provision says it's in camera, but we can always override that in the interest of the public and in the interest of democracy. After all, the document of the Constitution is there to enhance democracy. So that's the point that is being made. If this was on television this morning, you wouldn't be watching me wait till Good Evening Ghana because I have a good relationship with lawyers and they are telling me so that you can see it. This matter of such high public interest, the first ever removal through the Constitution of the Lord Chief Justice, never happened since 1957. The only one was Kwame Nkrumah sacking them, he just sacked them anyhow. And since Nkrumah did that, it was decided that the independence of the judiciary should be captured in the constitutions of 69, 79, and 1992, which we are currently operating. So it is a matter for the public to talk and think about. Do we want a live transmission on television to see how Torkonoo goes up or how she goes down? I think we should say that. So this morning, she was not even, the lawyers were not even allowed to talk. They were not recognized because the Justice Torkonoo is not there. The matter has been adjourned till May 22nd. This is the Monday after the Monday coming in. We hope that all these lobbying will prevail. I'm lobbying. I'm going to lobby Tadio Sorry. That's, my Lord, please add your voice to this publication. We want to see it. In any case, Tadio Sorry was in the court, in the Supreme Court. There was a live conversation, a live transmission between she and Justice Torkonoo. We all saw it. We saw their demeanor. We saw everything. So let us do it again so that the democracy will be stronger, so that justices will be confident that even when somebody brings an impeachment process against them, how they go up, how they go down, how they survive it will be in the clear view of the public in the interest of democracy. I think this is very important. So that's the latest from Justice Torkonoo. Now we have to deal with the other matters straight away. Okay, yes. This is the last bit to deal with. And this is an application that has gone before the Supreme Court, isn't it? An application that has gone before the Supreme Court for the Justice Torkonoo process to be halted. This is a new one, and the summary of the relief sought are that a declaration that properly interpreting Article 17(1)(3), 23, 296, etc. of the Constitution, the President's purported determination of a prima facie case as communicated on 22nd April 2025 is now void and of no effect. A declaration that the President's purported determination of a prima facie case against the Chief Justice violates the constitutional ban on executive interference with judicial independence under Articles 125, 34, 127 and is therefore void. They are also asking for a declaration that establishing a 5-member committee to investigate the Chief Justice without a duly determined prima facie case under Article 146 violates the Chief Justice's rights to equal treatment and fair trial under Article 17(3) and 1913 and is thus unconstitutional, unlawful, null, void, and of no effect. So the petitioners, the applicant, is going to the Supreme Court raising all of these matters. We understand that the case has been filed. We need to know when the Chief Justice acting Chief Justice